Good morning, Patriot pals. Thank you for joining me. Have a good day and God bless you. Let's get into the news. Now the nation's debt ceiling is about to burst as lawmakers in D.C. scramble to make a deal to raise the debt ceiling limit. Senator Joe Manchin has stated that he will be meeting with Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy in hopes of finding a way forward. If the ceiling is not raised, this would force the government to temporarily stop funding deals they had promised they would fund. This could also lead to the government having to take on higher interest rates, which would further cripple the economy and hurt existing programs. However, Kevin McCarthy stated that he would not be concerned over a financial crisis. This has some believing that maybe he's already got a deal going with Joe Manchin, or he's seeing something that the American public is not. Now, according to Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, this problem has only days before the situation balloons out of control for Americans, and quite frankly, the rest of the world. The world runs on America more than anyone would guess. Now, missing payments, according to many news sources, would damage the United States' reputation, turn off investors and creditors for future placement of money, send ripples throughout the stock market, pension funds, retirement funds, 401ks, the banking sector, and more. It could also affect Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and veteran benefits. Now, even though Social Security and these other benefit programs are supposed to be running independently on their own trust, the U.S. government shutting down would shut down Social Security payments going out. It would also force Social Security employees to close down offices and go home, and federal employees would not be paid. So basically, no one's going to work for free. Those offices have to be shut down, and it would affect payments. So this is a major issue. Now, this doesn't mean that this is going to happen immediately, but this debt situation must be handled before the end of the week. According to Janet Yellen, Biden has insisted in the past that he is the only candidate that can beat former President Donald Trump. He's done it once, he'll do it again. However, Nancy Pelosi has now challenged the statement by Biden and said that Biden is not the only one that could be Trump. She stated, "No, I think we have other great candidates when the time comes." So she's been very pro-Biden, and now that she doesn't need him. And he's attached to multiple documents, scandals. As a vice president that had classified documents, she is definitely distancing herself from Joe Biden and is about to switch up her candidate for 2024. Now, it's an interesting observation that since Pelosi has stepped down as Speaker of the House, Biden's troubles have gotten much worse. It's almost as if she was holding back the dam on a lot of scandalous stories about him, his son, his business dealings, and top secret documents. It could also be, according to news sources, that she's getting ready to put forward her nephew Gavin Newsom of California to run as president in 2024. Now, in light of this new theme, high-ranking Democrats have called for an investigation into Biden regarding declassified documents over the weekend. The FBI searched Biden's home and found even more classified documents. That as vice president, and even as a citizen, he should not have had possession of the reports about Biden's mishandling of classified documents as extremely irresponsible and disturbing. According to Joe Manchin, the same allegations, according to Senator Tim Kaine, are raised serious questions, and the appointment of an unbiased special prosecutor to investigate is the right way to handle this matter. So you have two high-ranking Democrats turning on Biden, saying this looks really irresponsible and really the serving 65% of the country, according to a new poll out today, does not want Biden to run in 2024. So the media is turning on Biden, the people are turning on Biden, and the Democrat Party seems to be escalating, turning their back on Biden. Elon Musk is facing a federal trial over tweets about Tesla. In 2018, Musk tweeted that he was considering taking Tesla private at $420 a share, funding secured. While the number 420 is often used as a joke in reference to weed, the court seems to think that he was being serious. Now in court, Musk told the jury, "Just because I tweet about something doesn't mean people believe it, or I will act accordingly." However, to Tesla investors that testified said that because of his tweet, they lost money, and they took it serious. So the trial is attempting to determine if Musk lied as CEO of Tesla, and if so, did it result in investor losses. Musk also mentioned during the trial that he had private offerings from Saudi Arabia investors to take Tesla private. There could be some truth to this. as we've now learned that backers from Saudi Arabia were behind the funding Musk used in order to purchase Twitter. So it seems that Saudi Arabia is a big believer in Elon Musk, Twitter, and Tesla. Now, speaking of Elon Musk and Tesla cars, I wanted to take a minute to tell you about a mining stock company with a lot of upside potential over time. Not only does this group have a gold mining project with incredible potential, but they also have a lithium mine that sits in a very unique spot for extraction or acquisition. Now, the name of the group is Clarity Metals, and their ticker symbol is CLGCF. They can be found on most major trading platforms. Nearly all futurists and economists say batteries and energy storage are the key to a safer, cleaner global future. Clarity Metals is uniquely positioned with their gold and lithium mines. Did you know that the United States, as big as it is, only has one lithium mining operation in the entire country? This means that the United States is heavily dependent on mining from other countries. And some of these other countries use inhumane methods to extract lithium. But Clarity Metal has mines in mineral-rich areas in Canada, and Canada is pro-energy, pro-mining and pro-trade with the United States of America. Now I want to tell you about Clarity Metals' Lithium 381 mining project. First of all, the mining property sits right next door to Outcome, an $8.5 billion mining company. Second, according to testing and press releases found on Yahoo Finance, the resistivity testing is coming in higher than Outcome's property just to the west. So you have this big $8 billion company sitting right next to the smaller company, and their lithium is testing higher than theirs. So now just to the south of that you have the OZO Go Mining, and also Patriot Battery Metals. These are both huge lithium battery mining companies. Now this is a play where Clarity Metals could extract lithium and sell it on the battery market for a profit. Or they could find themselves in a buyout acquisition situation where these three much bigger companies with money could end up buying them out. And so this is a very fun and potentially lucrative opportunity. Sometimes the best way to get the minerals or metals you need is to buy a junior mining company that already found it for you. So I'll show you on the map. Now again, look at where Clarity Metals' mining property sits compared to these huge mining companies surrounding it. Not only is the lithium project exciting, but their gold mining is looking extra good, as well as the price of gold is at a 10-month high. Gold is up 12% since I first started telling you about it, so the gold in the ground makes those mining companies more valuable as the price of gold goes up. Now the CEO James Rogers has over 13 years of exploration and acquisition experience with over 100 project completions. Lastly, Clarity Metals is unique compared to other groups because 50% of their stock ownership is held by the owners of the company. This means that the owners have major upside potential and incentive to work hard to make this a successful project. Again, the group is Clarity Metal and their ticker symbol is CLGCF, and they can be found on all major trading platforms. Thanks Clarity Metals for sharing this valuable information. Did you know the United States only has one lithium mine? That was new to me. I'm going to leave their website down below, which has a presentation about the company so that you can do your own research. Now, notwithstanding all the commotion in Washington, D.C., the stock market is green today, with most indexes being up close to 1.5% in a single day, with many individual stocks doing very, very well. And gold also being up again today. Now, despite all of the chaos that Washington, D.C. throws the American people into, and believe me, they are in chaos. I do believe this is going to work out. I know that many that watch my channel are dependent on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, pensions, different things like that. So I believe that will all work out. But as of today, we've got another 5 days of potential chaos until things get really, really bad. So hopefully, they figure that out before then. Donald Trump has been known for taking people to court, but a fear appears me that he overstepped his boundaries. A federal judge has slapped him with a $1 million penalty for filing a completely frivolous lawsuit against Clintons and other people involved in the Russiagate scandal. Judge Donald Millbrook stated, "We are confronted with a lawsuit that should never have been filed, which was completely frivolous, both factually and legally, as in which has brought in bad faith for an improper purpose." Basically, the judge said this trial has no standing, and that this is revenge. And that's not how courts are supposed to be used. So the Clintons might actually get $180,000 out of Donald Trump. And then, when people say, well, nothing's ever going to happen, They weren't talking about 2023, or they're not talking about this year. Retired top Federal Bureau of Investigation counterintelligence agent who led the Trump investigation arrested for own ties to that country, a country that Trump was supposed to be tied to. This, of course, was a fantasy. The Democratic Party and our wonderful intelligence agencies, they found nothing. Trump was not indicted or charged or arrested. Do you know who was arrested now? One of the people investigating him. So Republicans didn't even have to begin, or they've already begun their investigations into the investigators. But Biden's administration isn't going to only going after him by design. We've talked about that. But there now the DOJ has arrested a Federal Bureau of Investigation agent for doing the work or working alongside an oligarch. This is exactly what Trump was accused of. It's very important to understand the entire corrupt system. This entire system, you could look at everybody from New York's Attorney General years back Eric Schneiderman to all the Federal Bureau of Investigation agents, Comey, Strzok, McCabe to Clapper and Brennan to now this person who was arrested. And you can look at also people like Michael Avenatti, or the actor, Select. You have all of these people that went after Trump and tried to disparage him and accused him of everything under the sun. And instead, you have a person like Alec Baldwin who accidentally ended a woman's life, the character of the type of individual that has devoted his or her life. You have a comedian that, you have so many people who have just obsessed over Trump. You have to ask yourself, what kind of character, what kind of individual believes it is a virtue to devote every moment of life to despising Trump? That is not a virtue, because he did very good things as president, and almost half the electorate want him back. So therefore, it could be a case of an entire public relations apparatus and the entire American political establishment meant to propping up a person like Biden, at the expense and going after a person like Trump, when in reality, you have really nasty people or people committing crimes that have also just investigated Trump. And now we're finding out, hey, you know what? They were supposed to be Avenatti 2020. It's like a Trump curse. Now he's in prison. You have former agents at the Bureau who were forced out. You have an Attorney General in New York, who was forced out, Andrew Cuomo, forced out. And he was viewed as America's governor for a second guy, an Emmy or something like that. And we can go through the list. I mean, Andrew Cuomo, Michael Avenatti, Alec Baldwin, because of his unique personality, or character, or lack thereof, accidentally ended someone's life. These are all people who obsessed over Trump. And these are all people who preached and gave sermons about how bad Republicans were, and they themselves either committed crimes, or did the unspeakable, accidentally. And so you have to take this within the context of, well, nothing's ever gonna happen. Well, it's happening. It's happening like the meme. You could put my face to your face on that meme. It's happening instead of Ron Paul. Let's just read this before we do hit subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, things are going to heat up politically, that the pendulum is swinging. And you're going to have a completely new paradigm for everybody who says things are never going to happen. Well, they're happening right now. And, like I always try to say, left, right, center, Democrat, Republican, Green Party, Libertarian. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Whether you support Trump or don't support Trump, thank you for watching. I'm voting for Trump, because I want record low unemployment. Well, I should say record low poverty. We had record low poverty in 2019. There's zero rebuttal to that. There is no rebuttal to that. The policies of the Democratic Party have run this country into the ground, whether it was shutting down economic activity, because Democratic governors gleefully shut down their economy. And they didn't have to do that, that was a choice, or creating this Red Scare McCarthy era. Political climate. Democrats have continually the past couple of years been on the wrong side of history. You'd have to know a little something about history. And I say this, with all due respect. Like I say, God bless everybody. I come with a distinct vantage point. But I want people to understand that it's all love. And I just wish everybody only the best and prosperous, happy, beautiful, joyous, and healthy and safe new year. And we see what's going on in the world today. And there's something called evil. And there's something called criminal. So evil criminals don't care about laws. And I say this with all due respect, because Democrats think that if you just enact a law, the evil criminals will abide by the law, these laws. And that's not the case. Who knows this? The progressives in Congress who paid 20 to 30 grand for security details, they know that very well. But anyway, so I mean, the Secret Service, why do presidents, why do world leaders have security? Why do billionaires have security? Thank you very much. WWG1WGA. Give me your thoughts below and hit subscribe. See you again.